Hey, how's it going, guys? This is your boy Benzi here today, bringing you a video on my stamina templar. So I got a lot of questions about what I'm using in terms of spells and gear, and I'm going to get right into it and explain why I'm using everything and how I play with this build, of course. So for the gear, I'm running 5-piece skirmisher and 3-piece shadow walker. So the reason why I'm running skirmisher is because I've been running air for a very long time, and I realized that the skirmisher 5-piece is stronger than 5-piece of the air set, and that was basically the reason why I was running the air. You gave you two pieces of regen, which is really nice, with a bonus of weapon damage when you roll. And as a stamina build, you're always rolling because rolling is your survivability. So to explain further, besides the fact that this 5-piece skirmisher is better than the 5-piece air, you also get stamina and weapon critical versus a second stam regen bonus. So I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Skirmisher is slightly better, unless you're gonna run a hybrid spell damage weapon damage build. Then that kind of changes things, but that's not the case for this. So I am running a 2-piece air for that extra stam regen, but you know, by all means, if you have an engine guardian set or I don't know, even a Malabeth, to be honest, you could put that into this rotation, or maybe a 4-piece Shadow Walker and 2-piece, you know, Ashen Grip, maybe something for a little bit of a health benefit. I really didn't feel like crafting gear over because, as you can see, I have a bad habit of testing gear. So I had to go craft another piece of gear for a set that I'm actually gonna use. It's just friggin' tedious. So I am running Pact Bow. I'd probably replace this for the Master Bow if I ever got it. And I do have an Ashen Grip 2-hander. So I am missing out a little bit of health if I were to put that on. But that's not a big issue at all. So yeah, that's the gear. Skirmisher is very powerful in my opinion. It focuses your strength is rolling. When you're put on the defense, because you're dodge rolling frags or whatnot, you're dodge rolling incoming damage, it gives you the chance to go on the offensive really quickly, and that's what I like about the set. The whole set's actually built in with well fitted, so that increases your sprint distance. It reduces the cost of sprinting, so you can sprint longer, which is kind of badass if you think about it. When I'm chasing Sorks, you know, it's not that difficult at all. I can put up a good chase. So yeah, right to the spells. Poison Inject, Magnum Shot, Radiant Aura, Purifying Ritual, Charging Maneuver? Yeah, Charging Maneuver is the right one, yeah. And Replenishing Barrier. So I switched out Poison Inject for Venom Arrow because the DOT is absolutely insane. On my Lobi Nightblade, I was hitting like 4K, 3K execution crits and just killing people with the dot. So I think this this damage right here is insane. It's completely worth not having an interrupt. Magnum Shot works as a, you know, pretty good interrupt. It has a knockback and a disorient. So if you don't have time to you know, line up a wrecking blow or whatnot, you can hit them from afar and guarantee a disorient. It's really good in 1vx because it allows you to create some distance on people that are in your face trying to, you know, put out some serious damage, and it puts a CC on them. Even though it's a disorient, just as long as you don't hit them back after you disorient them, you can just go around and Magnum Shotting 2 or 3 people, and then taking on the last guy head to head. So Magnum Shot is absolutely great. I use it to jump off bridges all the time. If you Magnum Shot yourself off of a very high place, like the top of Alicia Bridge, or you know, at top of a keep, you take no fall damage. So it's a really good getaway spell because, you know, you could just jump off things by Magnum Shotting yourself, or you can get people off of you and create some distance. So highly recommend Magnum Shot. I tried running Bombard and whatnot, but it's just not the same, and you could just block the snare. So I mean, the immobilize, so it's kind of useless. Don't use lethal arrow for this build because you'll get killed. This is just like for my PvE setup. Okay, so we use Radiant Aura for the minor endurance and major endurance buff. So you're given 30% increased stam regen for stam and health regen, but you're basically just using it for the stam regen. On the major endurance, it says here that it also gives you 10% magicka regen on the passive, which is kind of nice too, especially since this is your poke bar. You're gonna be doing out the minor damage with this bar. It's also used for mobility, so most of the damage comes from your two-hander. I would basically kill everything on my two-hander. But this is just really good at chomping people's health down so that the execution works better. Purifying Ritual, I mean, having a cleanse in PvP is extremely important. It works as a good heal over time, but it does not strengthen your rally heal or any other heal that's not related to your Restoring Light tree. So that's kind of unfortunate, but the heal over time is decent, and the Purify is important. I'm using Charging Maneuver too because, you know, not like my Nightblade has major fortitude, or not major fortitude, major expedition spells, and unfortunately Templars don't. So I find myself getting caught quite often, besides the fact that I could dodge roll for a really long time. So I think using Charging Maneuver is really good for getting away and engaging targets. They nerfed Charging Maneuver, so it's not as good as it was before. It gave you extra weapon damage when you went in to go kill stuff, so they got rid of that, but it gives you minor expedition for 8 seconds, so 10% movement speed for 8 seconds after you make an attack. So you know, you sacrifice quite a bit of weapon damage for a little bit of movement speed after you're engaged in combat, whether you hit somebody or I think if you cast a spell too, it works. So yeah, just be mindful that you don't want to lose the major expedition when you're in combat, especially if you're trying to run away. Don't turn around to Magnum Shot if you have a chance of losing your major expedition. Alright, so Replenishing Barrier. This build is really squishy. I'm not running like White Streaks or any kind of survivability. I actually usually run drinks on this build, but I pay for it sometimes. So yeah, as you can see, I have like 15.5k health against Dangerous, but I do have 2k stam recovery and almost 2800 weapon damage. I don't know why it's so low right now. Must have done something wrong. Usually I have 2750 weapon damage. But anyway, oh, that's right. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, I like running 2k stam regen. It lets you perma roll, so you basically never get hit. But with the exception of the latest patch, I find myself getting repeatedly hit during dodge rolls with Flame Lash and various other spells. So at the moment I am running food because it's ridiculous that I'm getting hit while I'm rolling, and if I can't tank with my rolling, then I might as well tank with my stats. Extra healing from rally with extra stamina is better, and a bigger health pool is also nice, so that you know, when I get Wrecking Blow mid dodge roll, I don't instantly die. Okay, so that's that bar. Replenishing Barrier, yep, is my only survivability. It works really well on Zergs because you get ultimate back for everybody who loses their shield. So if they run into oils, which everybody loves running into oils, you get your ultimate back in Magicka per shield that expires. It's also really good at helping you tank. With an 18k shield, you basically get to Wrecking Blow for a few minutes without any resistance. Alright, so next bar I use Critical Rush, Wrecking Blow, Executioner, and Rally. This is just your typical burst spells. Nothing really special here. I mean, could charge for the extra damage on distance traveled. Wrecking Blow because I really don't have a solid DPS spell. I tried using jabs, but it's really bad against shield stackers. Wrecking Blow fears no one. if you use Wrecking Blow, you will conquer the world. Executioner makes everything hit harder. You can basically execute with your Wrecking Blow if they're under 25% health, because your Wrecking Blow get 18% extra damage. Blazing Shield, I hardly use it as I did in 1.5. I used to use Blazing Shield to help me tank, but right now it's just a mana dump. It doesn't shield for as much as it did because of the changes. There's no such thing as hybrid builds, so I have very low HP, so barely shields me in that respect. It does return damage, which is always nice, and it gives me time for my rally to become strong. I tend to use rally when it's at 15 to 20 seconds because I think that's the best heal per time ratio. So if it's not at 15 and 20 seconds and there's like a couple people on me just wailing, you know, going all out, I use that time to waste the resources by dodge rolling, and then you know, I just replace all the damage they did with a nice rally or a nice rally proc. So yeah, like I said, Blazing Shield doesn't shield much anymore, but it's still a really good spell. Besides the extreme magicka cost, and Flawless Dawnbreaker. I really don't use Flawless Dawnbreaker for DPS. I just find myself needing the replenishing for survivability. This build has like no survivability, so yeah, I reckon blowing people to death is easy. Everything dies really fast, but it's your survivability that suffers. So I feel like I'm using replenishing barrier like 90% of the time. They did buff Dawnbreaker, so now it hits everything. Werewolf Snot and Werewolf Form vampires like before. So I guess it is stronger, but taking into account it's also magicka damage, and I have no magicka penetration, so it's not extremely effective. I forgot to mention that my jewelries all have stam cost reduction, just because I don't want to waste stamina using spells. I want all my stamina to be dedicated towards dodge rolling, because that's where the money's at. That's the hardest part of your stamina pool, is managing how many dodge rolls you could do, and then DPS second. Because to be honest, these spells don't cost much. I can regen the costs very quickly. And charging would never cost a crap ton, so that gets reduced as well. Okay, let's go to attributes to see if I have this done right. Okay, well, I've been running hybrid builds lately, so this is kind of a disaster. You don't want 20 into block expertise. You want your points rounded into spell resistance, or spell shield, sorry, resistant for reduced crit damage. You need 10 into elemental defender, because every time you get hit by something that's a magic attack that's 30% of your max health, you get magicka back, which is really, really, really useful, and it procs often. So you want to reduce magicka damage with a hardy. You want to reduce elemental damage. This is completely wrecking every Sork in the game right there. And if that wasn't enough, you can also increase your spell resistance, and reducing the incoming damage you receive. And you know, increasing armor with medium armor focus is decent, but I really wouldn't recommend it. I'd focus reducing the incoming spell damage, and you'll be better off, in my opinion. So yeah, I bet you 100 people explained this to you before, but when people earn more champion points, like we're talking 300 plus, that's when the fall of magicka builds will be pretty. It'll be in your face. Like, you'll notice the difference between people with 50 champion points and 300 champion points when they start stacking 1, 2, 3, 4 skill trees or spell trees to reduce your build damage. And for those magicka builds that are trying to survive against the uppercut snipe spammers, you really don't have anything to help you. Nobody in this game is, you know, dumb enough to get light armor focus. Increasing the armor bonus per piece of light armor you have, like, what? Light armor doesn't give armor to begin with. To use the medium armor is debatable. So yeah, I mean, as of now, medium armor builds are really nice because you could use the little champion points you have to just reduce the incoming magicka damage, but later on, medium armor builds will be the best. Just because 25, you could when you max this to 100%, you can just 25% reduce magicka damage, 25% reduce elemental, 25% reduce crit, and 25% increase spell resistance. That's just like retarded stats. You'll be so strong against magicka builds. But nonetheless, we'll just get on with the current meta. 10 points into Overlord just for that stamina cost reduction. I feel like after 10, the champion points become mitigated quite a bit. So I try not putting more than 10 to 15 in these kinds of passives, even though they're very useful. So again, 10 into Mook, half for extra stam recovery, and I put everything into tumbling. I feel like most of my stam is lost by dodge rolling rather than casting spells and the lack of regen. So to mitigate the cost of dodge roll and break free is extremely important to me. That's where every it's the main element of your build, so it's the main weakness too, since it's your stamina dump. So to fix that would be the most beneficial passive. And the ritual tree we're looking at precise strikes. This will increase the crit damage of your attacks. I crit quite a bit. I think I have like 50% crit with my bow. So this is nice. I put 10 to 15 here. Piercing, same thing. This barely makes a difference against heavy armor users, and against light armor users you won't really need it. So because they have low armor anyway. So I don't know. This passes up in the air. I'd put points into it anyway because it will make some kind of a difference. 5% is something. But yeah, don't put more than 10 into this one for sure. And I put everything into Mighty because, you know, increasing your physical damage is huge. 10% of 2700 weapon damage is 270 weapon damage. So this is by far the most important passive in this skill tree. I wanted to quickly touch on, you know what, I'll leave that for another day. So yeah, that includes my stamina sniper build, stamina templar build. If you have any questions, ask in the comments below. I'm gonna make my magicka build today. I've been playing with 100 different sets. I have, you know, heavy armor, medium tank. I have magicka, heavy armor, light tank. I have a light armor, DPS, bow, sword and board. Like, I'm gonna post my magicka build next. And you guys tell me what you think, because Templars have always been really good at playing every role. Not like my Sork. I just play magicka Sork. It's just Sork. That's what it is. So I felt like this was necessary to have 100 different builds for my Templar. So let me know in the comments below if you'd actually use these builds, and if you have any questions about them too, because I did kind of rush through it. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope this build was helpful.